All right, in this lesson, we're going to be working with square root, absolute value, math functions. And Python doesn't have the math functions just built in for all the programs, so we need to import math, just like we imported random before. Import math. Now I can do math stuff. All right, so we're going to say x equals, and we'll just have the user input an integer. We could do float, it doesn't matter. We just type in float if we wanted a decimal. It's an input. So use parentheses and in quotation marks, we'll say enter, and oops, enter to find the square root, colon. Then I'm going to put a space after that just so the number's not smashed right up next to the colon. Just makes it look a little bit better. All right, now I'm going to have another variable. I'm going to say y equals, say math dot. And you just use sqrt for square root. And we want to find the square root of x. Then we want to print y. So enter a number to find the square root. Let's do an easy one. Let's do 25. All right. Let's say we want to do 32. Okay. Now let's say somebody who doesn't know what they're doing, or they're working more advanced stuff, and they say negative 15. All right, so now we've got a problem. We can't deal with negative numbers. And if you think back to algebra, if you've had algebra, we can't take the square root of a negative number because there's no number you can multiply times itself that's going to give you a negative. A negative times a negative equals a positive. Positive times a positive equals a positive. So this is what they refer to as an imaginary number. Okay, so to deal with this, I'm going to do two things. First, I'm going to turn it into absolute value, which is actually FABS. So here we'll find the square root of the absolute value of x. So let's see if that works. Oops, let's see. Oh, left off that other bracket. Okay. So now let's try negative 16. That equals 4. All right, now being the math person that I am, I don't like it just showing the 4 right there. I want people to know, hey, you put in a negative number, so this is actually an imaginary number. So I'm going to add a little bit to my program here. So I'm going to say if x is less than 0, put in a colon, and that's going to indent it. So this is part of this loop right here. I want to print I'm going to change this to a string. So we're going to print y. Plus quotation marks I. And I'm not going to worry about putting a space there because I want the I to be right up next to the number. That lets the user know that, okay, this is an imaginary number. All right, so now I'm going to type in else. Print y. Okay. So now if I enter a number, let's say 81, that works. Let's enter a negative number, let's say negative 22. Okay, that gives me the decimal with the I at the end. That lets me know, all right, this is an imaginary number. Now, if we don't want all these numbers on the end, because that gets a little bit long, in most situations we don't need that many. So I'm going to come over here. I'm going to add another variable. I could actually go back and use the x again, but that's all right. Okay, I want to round y, put a comma, and I just put in however many decimal places I want. So I'll say 3 places. Now, since I've added this other variable, I need to come down here and change these y's to z's. Okay, take the square root of 33. We round it off to 3 decimal places. I run it, I put in negative 45, 6.708i. So that lets me know that was a negative number, it's an imaginary number.